Postcard number 5. Bonfire of the Valkyries. In the garden this lockdown week, it has mostly been about burning rubbish. The dump is closed for the duration, and we, like everyone else we know, have taken the opportunity to declutter. We now have our own reserved space in the garden for things which eventually will need to be taken to the dump. There's a defunct fridge, an old carpet, lots of cracked and broken garden pots, and sundry other items. Plus, to make matters worse, we seem to be filling our bins to overflowing, and this is days before they are due to be collected by the council. The solution, according to the people I live with, is a bonfire. There are now 2 of those galvanised dustbins with holes around the bottom on the designated bonfire site. And every day there's usually one of them going. In hindsight, perhaps it was a mistake to place plastic items in the fire, but boy, did they burn. On one occasion, all day and all through the night into the next day, the flames kept leaping out of the burner. We wondered whether our neighbours might dob us in, but no sign of retribution yet. I've been listening this week to my newly discovered radio show, Scala Radio. It's classical music snippets, very accessible. Simon Mayo has a show, and so does Mark Kermode. Then I listened to the Frank Skinner Poetry Podcast, and he astounded me again with his great discussion of 3 Philip Larkin poems from the Whitsun Weddings collection. They were Wild Oats, Dockery and Son, and an Arundel Tomb. Well worth 30 minutes or so of your time. And he, Frank, spurred me on to find a poem about water, which is our poetry group's next theme. I chose Wine and Water by G.K. Chesterton, who lived from 1874 to 1936, pardon me. Old Noah, he had an ostrich farm, and fowls on the largest scale. He ate his egg with a ladle, in an egg cup as big as a pail. And the soup he took was elephant soup, and the fish he took was whale. But they all were small to the cellar he took when he set out to sail. And Noah, he often said to his wife, when he sat down to dine, I don't care where the water goes, if it doesn't get into the wine. The cataract of the cliff of heaven fell blinding off the brink, as if it would wash the stars away, as suds go down a sink. The 7 heavens came roaring down for the throats of hell to drink, and Noah, he cocked his eye and said, It looks like rain, I think. The water has drowned the Matterhorn as deep as a Mendip mine, but I don't care where the water goes if it doesn't get into the wine. But Noah he sinned, and we have sinned, on tipsy feet we trod, till a great big black teetotaler was sent to us for a rod. And you can't get wine at a PSA, or a chapel, or Eisteddfod, for the curse of water has come again, because of the wrath of God. And water is on the bishop's board, and the higher thinkers' shrine. But I don't care where the water goes, if it doesn't get into the wine. Watching on television, things have been quite good this week. I've enjoyed Grayson Perry's Art Club, he's making artwork with his wife and inviting the general public to send in their artwork, and also celebrities who want to make art. And so far we've had episodes on portraits and one on animals, and this week it was about fantasies. He's aiming for a large exhibition of the works to take place once lockdown restrictions are lessened. My next favourite, including celebrities, was Richard and Judy's Keep Reading and Carry On. Only a 20-minute programme. So, they had celebrities just discussing books and reviewing them, and a child reviewing a children's book, and celebrities saying what 3 books that had shaped their lives. Quite good, really. And we had memoirs again, my favourite pet hate. Louis Theroux and Elton John this last week's. Plus Graham Norton appeared in person and totally admitted that the only reason he made a second memoirs was that the publisher agreed to, if he did this, agreed to publish his books. Novels, should I say. And so he did. He made a spoof memoir, and they did publish his novels thereafter. Now he has 3 in published form. My favourite read, personally, was A Gentleman in Moscow by Amor Towles, and all the better for it being recommended by Camilla, wife of... who is she the wife of? Well, you know, the Cornwall people. As a great lockdown read, I have to say it was a great lockdown read, and I gave it 9 out of 10. And I also love the recommendations from members of the reading group I'm in. The trilogy set in Moscow by Jason Matthews, and indeed a stirring historical novel by Simon Mayle. Mad blood stirring. And we're all looking forward to reading George Eliot's Daniel Deronda next. On the making front, I've written about another couple of quizzes and have made 3 more recordings for my podcast. It is difficult, however, to get the sound quality right, and especially if I'm recording a Skype conversation. And I'm not too happy with it, but I'm sure that something will dawn on me, and I'll be able to do it a lot better the more I do. I also struggle getting suitable photos and pictures too, but I've no doubt something will turn up.